A little red roadster is a magical thing. Here's the Mazda Mx-5, which is the world's best-selling sports car because it's good on gas, beautifully balanced, and only slightly less fun than your average rail-mounted amusement park ride.
But what if you're after something a bit more aggressive, powerful, classy, extreme maybe? Something that captures the magic of a two-seat open-top motoring experience but dials things up big time when it comes to the looks and the output. Well, you might just want to consider something like this, the SLC 43 AMG.
If the desire to own a little red rocket roadster has you itching like a bargain bathrobe, and if your wallet is a little bigger, this latest in a line of semi-AMG models from Benz is batting its eyelashes at you. Pricing from $71 grand for this high-performing SLC gets you stunning looks with vents and sculpts and exhausts, leaving little guesswork about its intentions. The motorized roof takes a hike in seconds and even includes this glass panel that uses electricity and sorcery to lighten or tint at the touch of a button. Typical Benz Roadster interior, a little tight if you're hefty, but mostly logical to use with controls and switches that are familiar from other recent Benz products, and even a decent amount of storage for things you like to keep near you while you drive.
But here's the good stuff under the hood. This is a 3-liter V6 twin turbocharged with 362 horsepower and the better part of 400 pounds of torque. Now, forget a power curve, this thing just hits hard the instant you touch that throttle and keeps on pulling and pulling until you run out of room or demerit points. Best of all, there is a 9-speed automatic that changes gears in a blink, so you've got both this torque monster engine and the massively quick transmission working in sync for some serious speed. 0 to 60, oh yeah.
That's about 4.5 seconds, quick enough to cause your church-going grandmother to swear, and it sounds so good that maybe we should listen to it again. That noise is more delicious than the fibrous, glistening innards of a ripe pineapple. It's only part of the performance package too, since the handling, braking, and steering are all tuned to make you salivate as well. Now, this isn't what I'd call a hardcore razor-edge handling weapon. To ensure the SLC 43 is a comfortable daily driver, there's a layer of softness over many of the controls that make it feel more relaxed and a little less hyperactive than you expect in a car like this. The throttle isn't hair trigger precise, and neither are the steering or brakes. Plus, a touch of turbo lag means there's a split second between you hitting the gas and then hitting the back of your seat. So it trades off a measure of precision and instantaneousness to be maybe a better daily driver, but it's still entertaining. Steering is lighter than I like, but satisfying in how it makes you feel like you're driving a great big go-kart with minimal actual work at the wheel. Grip is just massive as hard as you'd push it on a public road and really get it cooking, and the rear end feels delightfully greasy and frisky as it squirms around behind you. Brakes, well, they're not the most precise I've ever used, but they bite hard and fast, inspire confidence, and get the SLC stopped right now. I wondered if I'd have to pick my teeth out of the steering wheel just there. You've got to dig deep to access the best bits of how this car handles, steers, and brakes, and when you're absolutely driving the pants off of it, well, that's where it really shines. And for the performance on offer, the ride is pretty well done too. Stiff, busy, and jouncy, sure, but there's a just right layer of softness around the edges to keep your spine happy, and you almost never hear from the suspension. Even on nasty roads that make many a performance posh rocket ride like a wheelbarrow full of cinder blocks, you'll probably find the SLC feels comfy sporty, not spine-crushing, as long as your back doesn't suck and you're not 67. And that speaks to the underlying intentions of this car. So far I've been using Sport or Sport Plus mode, which makes the steering heavy, the exhaust louder, and the throttle more sensitive than a moody teenage girl. But put it into comfort mode and it lightens up, relaxes, and quiets down. The engine uses that big wad of torque to ooze along with very minimal revs. It's also that when you aren't driving it like your face is on fire, it's actually pretty peaceful. Here's one of those cars with an undeniable wild side you can mostly turn off when you don't need it, maybe when you're using the SLC as a weekend getaway cruiser instead of for two-seat motoring monkey business. Sure, usually it sees the desire to go fast and combust fuel burn in your guts like a suicide wing platter, though it'll play on its best behavior when you're not in a rush. On that weekend road trip, you'll find adequate cargo space under here for 2 bags, more if the roof is up, decent at-hand storage in the cabin as 2-seaters go, thanks to various pockets and cubbies, a powerful climate control system with these neck heaters if it's chilly, and a great lighting system for if it's dark. Oh, and you'll probably like the mileage too. Highway cruising saw the tester put away less than 9 liters per 100 clicks. Top-down wind turbulence is about average, definitely present but not overwhelming, and these thin little aero blades help reduce it a little. And if you're into paddle shifting, this transmission is a treat. There are faster shifting units out there, but this one changes with minimal delay, in quick order, and with perfect rev matching. Gripes: the interfaces in the cabin are looking a little dated compared to some newer Porsche and Audi competitors, and you can't work the roof unless you're virtually stopped, though you can work it from the remote while you're outside. And I did wish for a manual transmission, and Mercedes told me that there isn't one, which is like telling a kid there's no Santa. Just a final note, at 80 grand as tested, this SLC 43 AMG has a few friends I think you should meet. This is the Jaguar F-Type, which is sexier to look at by a fair margin. And this is the new Corvette Stingray, which looks just a little more menacing and would have the SLC for lunch. It is always nice to have options. Ultimately, here's a fun little weekend getaway cruiser and a round-town topless runabout that works well as a thrilling sports car when desired, and in that order. Thanks for watching.